Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the GyalDem City podcast meets the ManDem United podcast. It is the Manchester City, Manchester United show hosted by Chester City, aka Yan City, and myself, Flawless, Mr. Take Note, aka Man of the People, aka the People's Prophet. Big up to everyone who's supporting Sarcasm City TV. As always, please keep all your comments and questions Manchester City and Manchester United related. Please hit the like button as soon as you land, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back after the live. Hit that like button. Let's get us up into 10 likes. Let's go double figure likes, people. Share this across all the socials as well and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. It is rolled to 5K. And when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Yan, what are you telling me? You good?
How are you?
Tired, but I'm good. I'm saying, looking forward to the show. Let's see how the show goes. But yes, I'm blessed. Thank you very much. Like I said, Jan's in the building. I'm in the building. Keep all your questions, Manchester City and Manchester United related as well. As you can see from the title, it is FA Cup week, people, or FA Cup weekend, I should say. Manchester City facing Arsenal technically today now, and Manchester United facing Reading on Saturday. So we'll start with Manchester City. We'll start with the blue half of Manchester. They're playing Arsenal in the FA Cup. Jan, how are you looking at it? Do you want Pep to take it seriously? Or are you just looking at the Premier League and the Champions League as main priorities?
To be honest, I think City, in a way, play better when they're competing on more than sort of two fronts. I think when we're got loads of games, we seem to be able to build momentum better. So for that reason, I hope he takes it seriously. However, with Pep, I'm not so sure what he does because he's got two options. He can either go strong, try and beat Arsenal, or he can kind of do sort of his usual FA Cup squad where he's got strong players, but then he also has like our second team, if that makes sense, with a few first team players. So I expect that, the likes of Rodri, he might rest him because he plays so much as it is. That being said, it is a FA Cup weekend, so we haven't got another game in 2 days. Do you know what I mean? So it might, I don't know. It just depends. I think our next game is Spurs next Sunday, so it's quite a while between the games. So
yep, it is Spurs.
Yep, I think,
you're right.
Yeah, based on that, I think he should go strong.
Okay.
Plus, also, Arsenal are who we are competing with for the league. So if we can go there, then we can kind of grasp how that game on the 15th is going to go. And then, if we beat them, it sends confidence to our players and sends a bit of doubt to theirs because they might start thinking, shit, we've got to play City soon. Yeah. If we lose, it can have the opposite effect. So we'll have to see. I honestly don't know until I see the lineup what Pep's going to do. This season, it's a different lineup every week. So honestly, I have no idea.
We're soon going to find out. Big up to everyone in the chat. Like I said, get your questions in. Don't forget, a link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well. Big up to WKD who became a member. Big up Veta, man. Good to see Veta Games, man. Large up Veta says, yo, large up Jan, the first lady, and the flawless one. Big up to Veta, man. Big up to Veta. Good to see other City fans in the chat. Malcolm says, big up the ManDem. Large up to Malcolm every single time. Jez says, big up. And shouts to Mohammed as well. Says, big up Flawless and says, hello to Jan as well. All right, so
the other thing I was going to say, the last time Arsenal beat us was actually in the FA Cup, that 2-0 a few years ago.
Cazorla. Was Cazorla?
No, I don't think it wasn't that long ago. I think it was Arteta. When Arteta won the FA Cup that year, they beat City.
Yeah, they did. They beat you lot in the semi-final, right?
Yeah. But our record in the FA Cup is not great. Like, even in all our success, I think we won it in 2010, which is before we started winning. That was our first trophy. I'm sure you'll remember that. Yeah, Torre. But
I don't remember.
But yeah, that was the first one, and then we only won the other one when we won the 4 domestic ones. That's the only.
That's the domestic.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're trying to add more trophies. There's 3 domestics, love. You know what I'm saying? Don't do
that. I know, but people count the Community Shield. I don't.
Yeah, you count it. Yeah. You just tried to count it. Don't try that slick shit. You ain't slick. You know what I'm saying?
honour, they call it, but it's not a trophy.
No one don't count that. Never have we been like, yo, do you remember that season we won the
Nah, they
Community
do
Shield?
when they count Fergie's trophies. They add them in.
Yeah, but that's the GOAT, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? You're the GOAT.
That's the first time I actually heard them added in trophies was when people were talking about Fergie.
Yeah, because he's the GOAT. If you're the GOAT, people make exceptions. You know, that's what it is. If you're the GOAT of something, people will make exceptions. You make whoever the best footballer is you've seen at City, you make exceptions for. Who's the best player you've ever seen at City?
Probably David Silva, maybe.
Okay, then. So when David Silva had a poor performance, you're much more lenient on him than if a Kyle Walker has a poor performance because it's David Silva.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You ain't slick. This girl try to be slick, people. You know.
Anyway.
Yeah, go on. You move on. You move on swiftly, love. Go on.
Our record in it isn't actually great. So I don't even know. Even if we beat Arsenal, I don't know if we'll win it. So yeah, I think the league. I don't think we can focus on the league because it's not in our hands. The only way it's in our hands is if we go and beat Arsenal home and away.
Which you are capable of doing.
We are capable of doing that. But if we do that, then it then becomes in our hands. If we don't do that, then it's fully in their grasp, you know. So it's what is it, 8 points? So it'd still be in their hands, even if we do that.
I'll tell you now, let me look at this table. Yeah, is it?
Well, it's not. It's 5, but they've got
currently. Yeah, if they win their game in hand, let's say they do, it's 8. So you'd be 2 points off them. You got more ample. There's you've only played 20 matches. They played 19. You got ample. You got ample time to try and catch him. Big up Malcolm says, yeah, Torre. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You ain't got that strong man accent and that strong.
You've got that strong man accent. I did not.
I don't. Yours is much stronger than mine, 100%. When I start cursing, Hey, chat, let us know who has a stronger Mancunian accent, like stereotypical. Is it Jan or is it me? You know what I'm saying?
It's
let us know.
You.
It's definitely not, man.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I can hear I'm a big ears. I can hear clearly. Yours is strong. People are always mocking you. That's why Malcolm's mocking you here. He said, yeah, Torre. You know what I'm saying? Torre, that's you, Torre.
You know what? Yeah, my accent got stronger when I started going to football. You know.
I know. Like you're around all them people with them strong man accents. Yeah. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Still chatting shit and all that stuff. That's you. Only when I'm cursing does it like come out like you hear it properly. Big up Flawless, big up Dennis the Great every single time. Veta says Flawless moving shameless with the Ferguson exception. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Jan's a proper man. Yeah, she is proper man. Hey, you lot, how many likes are we on? Like check. Are we even? Yeah, we ain't even hit double figures and there's over 20 of you lot. Stop slacking, man. Get us into double figure likes. There's over 20 of you lot.
Like the video, Flawless is camera, man. It's good.
Yeah, Jan will keep hers off if you continue to like the video. Because you know what? I just seen what she looked like before the video. You don't want to see that, people. Fucking train wreck. You know what I'm saying? Looking like roadkill. You
fucking wish.
I wish you didn't look like roadkill. Yeah, you're right. I hope Pep keeps it strong, but takes out Edison and Gundogan, save them for Villa. Well, you play Veta, you lot play Spurs before that. But would you like to see him take out Edison and a Gundogan? Is there certain players you don't want to see in this game for rotation?
Really will, because our FA Cup goalkeeper is Ortega. I just think my only issue is that last season we did that. We did what we usually do in the FA Cup. We went and played Liverpool and we took out quite a few of our key players and Liverpool went really strong and they played Alisson in net, this, that and the other, and we got beat in the first half. It was literally the first half, and then we came back in the second half, but we didn't have enough time to like recover, so we ended up losing 3-2. But that, or was it 4-2? I can't remember what it was in the end, but it was one of them games where we were too weak and they went too strong, basically. So yeah, it's just one of them things. I get like we have priorities and stuff like that, but these players can get like injured in training midweek. So if they've got a week to recover, then I would go strong. If you go like 3-0 up against Arsenal, I don't think we are because they're playing well. But if we did, you can then take them players off. You don't have to keep them on. Do you know what I mean? But just I'd rather just try, just because we've got so much time within our next game. So we'll see. And then obviously we got to play Spurs. We haven't even scored a goal at their new stadium.
You're gonna beat. I'm telling you now, you're gonna beat Spurs. I'm telling you now, you're gonna beat Spurs. Yes.
we need to score a goal first. That's the problem.
You will beat Spurs. Trust me, I've watched Spurs. You lot are gonna beat Spurs.
Yeah,
Same way, even when you lot were 2. Go on.
And they still beat us. It's not like Spurs are great every season. They beat us.
No,
Spurs
but this is Spurs now. Even when you was 2-0 up and you 2-0 down at halftime in that game, shout out to Matisse. Matisse rang me because he was doing a watch.
Yeah,
and he's like, you told me it wasn't going to be okay. And I said verbatim, I said, don't worry about it. City go win the game. I got back because I was out. I was at the shop when he rang me. I got back. The man then was holding down the watch along. I said, City are going to win this game. As soon as it went 2-1, I was like, yeah, City got this.
You have more faith than me. I thought the game was around that time.
Yeah, because that's you. Of course you're going to think that. I've watched enough Spurs. I watched Spurs a lot. I heard from Jez a lot who's in the chat. Trust me, even Jez is there saying it's going to change.
I know what you're saying. And like, this is the thing. Like a few years ago, Man City, I'd be like, remember when teams used to score 3 against us and we'd score 4? Or a team would score 2 and we'd score 3. Like it was always like, even if we went 2-0 down, I knew City are going to come back. Like, I think it was like Pellegrini days where we just it used to be like a 4-3, 4-2. It was always them scorelines. I think we beat Arsenal 6-3. It was like, them crazy scorelines. Yeah. And then when Pep's come in, obviously it was a bit different because it was like, we're going to attack. And then we were getting more like a 4-0, like a better sort of scoreline. But then we hadn't. So last season, before we won the league, and this is why I was not concerned that we weren't going to win the league because I thought we would win it last year. But it got to the end of the season and it's like when we were scoring first, we were winning. Like pretty much all season, when we scored first, we won. I think there was only one game that we didn't score first and win. The rest of the season, every time we went 1-0 up, we'd won. Do you know what I mean? It was good. And then we got to the Villa game. I think it was Villa, and we drew. And it was like, okay, that's not normal. And then when we got to the end of the season, so they were 2-0 up, remember? And then City came back to 2-2. That's the first time we'd come back from 2-0 down for years. So I thought there's no way, on that last day of the season, I was thinking there's no way City are going to come back from 2-0 down to go and win the game. Because we'd only just come back to draw it. And that was the best that we'd done since 2007. So I was like, we're not going to win this game. And then we did it. So then I think actually the Madrid game helped us. Like everyone slanders us because the way Madrid knocked us out.
Beautiful.
But I think it actually helped us. Because if we'd have got knocked out 3-0 and they'd have battered us that whole game, I don't think we would have learned anything from it. But the way that it happened, we actually learnt from it and we used it in the league and it won us the league essentially. So I think City have kind of learned that, because we always say we fight till the end. That's like our motto. But it's like, I think that Madrid game actually taught the players, like, you can actually come back with a very short amount of time. You don't need half an hour to come back from 2-0 down. You literally need a few minutes. And that's what we did against Spurs. I think it was 2 goals in 4 minutes or something like that.
Spurs are cheeks. That's why you're going to beat them. I'm telling you, but carry on.
But yeah, I just think the issue that we've got at the moment is away from home, we're not creating that many chances. Right. And that's the problem. So if we go to Spurs and we have 1 shot on target, even if that goes in, Spurs are likely to have more than 1 shot on target the other way. Because
you're saying a lot. I don't know about that. But go on. I don't think you realize how bad Spurs are, I don't think you get it. Spurs are really, really that bad. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but if you look at the teams that have beat City this season, it's not the great teams. It's not like the best teams are beating us. It's teams.
Who's beat you that's worse than Spurs?
Who's beat us this season?
I think Brentford are a better team than Spurs.
Brentford are actually, they're doing all right, to be fair.
Brentford are a better team than Spurs. We beat you. We better than Spurs. Yeah, hold that, by the way, that we beat you, but carry on.
Oh, sure. You know what, hold the fact that you're 6 points behind, babe.
Hold that in it. Yeah. Go catch Arsenal in it. We're going to win more trophies than you this season. How about that? Hold that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to win more. Yeah. Hold that. See, you can't say shit. You know what I'm saying, go on, carry on.
Shit, mate.
Of course we are. We winning more than you. We winning at least 2 trophies this season.
Newcastle minimum. Carabao. I'm Reading and knocking you out of there.
Yeah, you can keep dreaming. You know what I'm saying, innit? What I'm saying, we're gonna treat Reading the same way we treated you when you came to OT.
Anyway, where's your Arsenal or Chelsea or Liverpool?
No, we don't. We deserve a nice draw. We've been through hell. We deserve. We went through the Ollie reign of terror.
MK Dons at home and fucking Burnley.
You had MK Dons at home.
Villa. You've had Villa like the past 3 years at home.
Hey, shout out to Villa. You know what I'm saying? And that, my G's.
You've had
yeah.
Easy fixtures.
Charlton Athletic, absolutely. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nottingham Forest is about time. Well, if you lot would have beat Southampton, you lot would be in the Carabao Cup semi-final. But we'll do what you couldn't. So it's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're not even playing Southampton, innit?
No, it's Newcastle, but
Southampton, innit?
I hope Southampton beat Newcastle, but they won't. Southampton are awful. Southampton are cheeks. You know what I'm saying? They're bottom of the league for a reason. Like, come on. Yeah, Victor, you see it, the mighty Villa. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, yeah, go on, carry on. What was you saying? Complaining about Adra. Actually, before Jan continues, you lot continue to get your questions in. Keep it Manchester United, Manchester City related, please. All your comments and questions. We've hit the first milestone, 4,945 subscribers. We're now 55 away from 5K on the channel, people. We're looking for 5 more during this live stream. We're trying to get to 4,950. So by the time this live stream ends, we should be 50 or less away from 5K, people. So hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit the notification bell. Like check 1, 2. How many likes we on? You lot are slacking with the likes. There's over 30 of you lot locked in, and there's only 20 likes. Hey, Jan, tell your people them get the likes up.
Nah, man, bro.
Oh, whatever, man. Go on, carry on. Say what you're saying. Hey,
get your likes up, and I'll kick flawless out of the stream. Innit?
There you go.
Here's what it is. But yeah, I agree with Dan, because Dan says that Arsenal have been winning a lot. So if you can stop the momentum a little bit, that helps. So I agree with that. And I think it just...
Do you agree with this from Vale? See, Vale's a sensible City fan, man. He says, I think the Spurs come back and how we did it will be remembered by the players. We will take our chances against teams moving forward. Do you agree with
that? I hope so. To be honest, City are weird, because City have usually been a team that create, chance after chance after chance, miss. So if we have 10 chances, we'll have 7 shots on goal and we'll have 3 goals or something like that. That's like City. But this season, it's weird because we're having 1 shot, 1 goal. So it's like, because a lot of people are talking about, and I know you're not of this belief, but people are saying Haaland has like made City worse and stuff like that.
Talk about it. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me. Like, yes, we've changed the way we play, but I think we changed the way we play slightly because we have gone from having a false 9. You have to change the way you play. You can't play with a number 9 the way you would play with a false 9. The whole idea of a false 9 is that they move, the front 3 move positions. You know, they're all over the place. So they drag defenders out and, you know, all over the place. That's the whole point. A regular number 9, their job is to be in the box and connect with the ball and put it in. That's their job. And Haaland is doing what his job is. He's putting the ball in the net at a much quicker rate than most people. You know, so it's not like if he was struggling to score now, then I would hear the argument, because I'd be thinking, okay, well, City normally score loads of goals, but Haaland's come and he's only got 5 goals. But that's not what's happened. Like, he's come and he's scoring. I think because we've lost the pace, because Sterling is very pacey, so we've lost him. Mahrez has always been a slower player. He's never been that quick guy. Grealish, even if he runs quick, he will then cut back and pass back, or he doesn't cut inside as much as he should. He doesn't take on his man as much as he should. But to be fair to Grealish, the only thing that I would say in his defence is it's not normally his man. There's normally 2 of them or 3 of them there. So this idea that he never beats his man, it's like it's not just him and one guy. Often it's more, but still, I think he should do better. I think he's been better this season. I can't really fault Grealish too much. He's been one of our best players recently. But yeah, it's just one of them. I think City will get in some sort of rhythm soon, because it's been very like up and down. I think there's been a lot of changes in the squad. No one's really getting like a run of games. It's kind of like Mahrez will start 2 games. and then he'll be dropped for 2 games. Then he'll come back in and play 3 games, and then it's just very inconsistent, especially our defense, because we've got like Aki playing left back 1 game, centre back the next. Then he's on the bench. Then Akanji's playing, like centre back instead, and then you've got John.
It's not a consistent back 4.
Yeah, it's been changing. Yeah. I think the same back 4 has the main back 4: Diaz, Stones, João Cancelo, and Kyle Walker. They've only played together 3 times this season, so that just shows that's our normal back 4. They've only played 3 times, and I think they've won all 3 games. So it's just one of them. I think we'll get into some rhythm at some point. The only question is it going to be too late by the time we do that? I think if we hurry up and we get on form now and we sort of go on, say this is the start of our winning run, say we're 2 games in, and we go on a winning run now, then I can see us potentially troubling Arsenal. But if we don't, if we lose again or we start mixing up the squad or whatever, or we just don't look good, then I don't see it happening right now.
Vaya says, I like the show. As soon as I heard Jan tell you to show up, telling her to hold that. Hey, Vaya, you can hold that 2-1 as well, Vaya. You can hold that. You lot go subscribe to Vaya Games TV, though. Go subscribe to his channel. Great content creator. Shame he's on the wrong side of money, but shout out to Vaya Games, man, innit? Big up every single time. Yeah, Chris, I thought this is
literally side of money, you dickhead.
No. I said the wrong side, you clown. You know what I'm saying? Sure, man, over there looking like roadkill. Sure. You know what I'm saying? No one asks you anything. Listen, yeah. No, you really don't. You know what I'm saying? That's why your camera's off, in it. So keep it off. People ain't trying to see that.
Would agree.
No, they would not. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, damn.
Wait, we don't even get easy draws. The thing is,
can I finish running through the comments? You're so rude, you know. Can I finish running through the comments, please, before you just start running your mouth? Thank you. Jesus Christ. Chris says, City fan talking about draws. Shameless. Facts, Chris. This is the first season. Yo, Dominic, right? This is the third season in years. When have we had a favorable draw previously?
3 seasons.
Yo, we had Ollie, man. We was handicapped. You know what I'm saying? It's because of Ollie. Victor here says, Jan, tell City to stay far away from Liao. No one is trying to see Haaland, Liao partnership. Facts. No one ain't trying to see that. No one ain't trying to see that. That's a long day. That's a long day, man. That's a long day.
You're going to stop him for João Cancelo, innit?
Oh, yeah, I heard he wants to leave. We'll get into that as well. Paul says, should United try and sign Ajax player Kudos? Alvarez, idiot manager, sack time to pounce. Big fan of Kudos. I've not seen enough. Obviously, I've heard Jez mention him a lot. Yeah, is that actually his full name? I thought it was 2 separate players. I didn't know Kudos Alvarez. Yeah, it's 2 separate players because Kudos is someone that Jez has spoken about in depth. Paul, I've not seen enough of him to say.
Ajax.
Well, the Ajax player, I know obviously he's Ghanaian as well. Let's see. Big up Sheets and Metal as well. Don't forget as well, people, if you super chat, me and Yam will get straight to the comment or question you asked, even if it's non-Manchester City or United related. Sheets and Metal says, what would Manchester United need to do to beat Manchester City? Do you think other teams in the top 6 need to pick up the slack? Manchester City have been the benchmark. They've been the dominant team in the Premier League. So yes, it's on everybody to go and catch them. And we've seen Liverpool challenge them previously and fall short. We're now seeing Arsenal fall short. Manchester United, we're stepping up, but we're still not as good as them yet. But next season, if Manchester United have a window as good as the one we just had last summer, I would expect to go and challenge. United should finish. I'm expecting a United title charge next season.
Do you want me to answer the question for you?
Yeah, go on. Okay, this idiot.
I think the reason why City have been so successful is the squad that we've got has been obviously a good squad.
Yep.
So that's helped. But I think we've had strength on the bench as well. So, if Amares comes off, then you're not replacing him with like some youth player that, no one's heard of. Do you know what I mean? It's a like for like kind of swap. I think we have actually weakened our team this season because when we haven't replaced players like Sterling. So we haven't actually got, it's more like a Cole Palmer sometimes coming off the bench, who is obviously not of the standard of Sterling. So we have kind of damaged our squad a little bit with that. But I think obviously it's still decent enough. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you need squad depth. You need, you definitely need squad depth. Obviously the manager helps. I think we have the best manager, so that helps. And then the other thing that I would say as well is the ability to go on winning runs. I don't mean unbeaten runs, because a lot of people start saying, oh, we're unbeaten for this amount of time. Well, so are Newcastle. Newcastle are unbeaten for a very long time, but they're still not at the top of the league because some of them results are draws. If you go,
I think they got like 9 draws or something crazy like that.
Yeah. If you go on a winning run now, you will be top of the league, because like if anyone drops a point, you're getting 2 points on them minimum every time.
9 draws.
You will end
9
up
9 out of 20. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they've not been losing though, and they've hardly
they only lost 1
goal.
Yeah, 11.
They've hardly.
We got the best defensive record.
The game, which was 3-3, I think that's the most they've conceded in a single game. Every other game's been like 2-0. Like max against them.
And you lot, there's just under 50 of you lot locked in, and we're even at 30 likes. Hey, bump up that like. There is now over 50 of you lot locked in. Let's bump up them likes. Let's not be slacking, man. What is going on here, people? Let's get up to 30 likes expeditiously. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're looking for 5 new subscribers to take us to 4,950. Then we'll be 50 subscribers away from 5K, people. You lot gotta stop slacking in that. None of this Chelsea attacking conversion rate. What's going on? And speaking of Chelsea attackers conversion rate, big up to Lewis, man. My G says big up everyone. And he put no Chelsea this weekend in capital letters. So he's over the moon about that. Big up to my G Lewis. Go subscribe to his channel. He just recently hit 30K. Link is underneath in the description as well. Veta Games here agrees with you. He says Jan talking facts. Mahrez and Grealish are not the take on type of the they don't take on their defenders.
Yeah.
They don't.
I mean,
I rate them highly, but yeah.
They don't. I mean, when Mahrez does, he tends to score. So it's like,
yeah.
But yeah, he's I think the way City play, it's they want to pass. And sometimes it's like, when you just know it's not working, it's like, just shoot. Because sometimes they don't even, like, for me, I'm not too bothered. If you play a game and you try your best and you're putting shots in and, they're on target and the goalkeeper is having a masterclass, then that's fine. You can say the goalkeeper was great. He saved every shot we had. But when you've got a game where you've had no shots on target, that for me is unacceptable, because you haven't even tried. What's the point in playing 50 minutes and at no point has the goalkeeper had to make a save? The whole game of football is about putting the ball in the back of the net. Like, yes, we can play beautiful passing football. That's nice. But you need goals as well. Do you know what I mean? When you're 2-0 up, pass it around, pass it back. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? But when you haven't scored and you need to win a game, put the ball in the back of the net, or if you can't do that, at least work the goalkeeper a little bit. So the goalkeeper, because you never know. Like, the way I see it is, if you take a shot from the outside of the box, right, that might not even be on target, but that could hit a defender and go in. Right. So it's like, that could be a goal without you even hitting the target. If you hit it hard enough in the direction of the goal and it's going on target, either it's going to go in the back of the net, it's going to deflect into the back of the net, or the goalkeeper's going to make a save. Half of the time when the goalkeeper makes a save, it goes out for a corner. That's another goal scoring opportunity. So I just think there's no excuse for, like, no shots on target. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Especially
with all the attacking quality you have. And Veta mentioned it in regards to United created chances against Arsenal, even though with no Casemiro. I think you'll beat them over both games, but that's just me. Veta goes on to say, again, you lot continue to get your questions in and stop slacking on these likes, yo. What is going on? Like check 1212 people. How are we still short of 30? And there's over 50 of you lot locked in. We're 3 short. Literally 3 short of 30 likes. Hit that like button right now, people. It all helps. Hit the notification bell as well when you subscribe to the channel. I know everyone locked in hasn't hit the like button, and I know everyone who was locked in hasn't hit the subscriber button. Let's do so. Let's get up to 30 likes. Veta says Pep doesn't want them to force it. Supply the big man if he has an advantage. If not, recycle the play. Allow the midfield and fullbacks to support the play. Yeah, that sounds about right. It really does. It sounds about right. Paul's got a question here. He says, Will Calvin Phillips play against Arsenal? His transfer. Yeah. Yo, Paul, write this again. You gotta start writing in full English, fam. Come on, man. I'm tired of deciphering you. You're my guy, but yo, start writing in full English, man. You know what I'm saying? Slow down when you type in and start writing in full English, my done. You're my guy, but I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? It's late. It's 1 a.m.
Do you
It's 1
understand?
a.m. It's 1 a.m. Yeah, when it's written in full, yes. Paul's my guy, but yeah, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? It's 1 a.m. Big up Flawless and everyone in the chat. Big up to Marcel in the cut as well. Ravi's here says, you guys are acting like Liverpool. Please get the likes up and subscribe. Yes. Corey Pirate says, are you missing Sterling since he gives you that width that a traditional winger gives you?
Do you know, I say this every time I'm on a stream, so people are probably tired of hearing it. And every time I'm face. But the way I see it is, it's not one of them where I'm like, City shouldn't have sold Sterling, because I think there are times where a player gets to the end of their time at your club and they want to move on. He wasn't happy because he wanted to play, be guaranteed football every week. Everyone knows Pep Guardiola is not the sort of manager that's going to say, okay, you can play every single game. Like, he's not going to do that. He will take anyone out. Even the safest player in our squad is De Bruyne. And even De Bruyne gets taken out and rested and whatever. So no one is going to get 100%, starts. It's just not going to happen. So Pep was not going to guarantee that. So obviously he moved on, which is fine. The problem that I have is that when a player leaves, that's fine, but you need to replace them. You can't just let someone go and be like, oh, they wanted to leave, and then you don't look for a replacement. And I know, like, maybe they didn't know he was going to go. Like, I don't think it was planned in advance. Like, it was kind of last minute. He probably decided at the start of the window that he wanted to go or whatever, but you still could have got someone in. There's people like Rafael Leao that someone's mentioned. There's players like that you could have got in. And the thing is, we've got quite a few Portuguese players in our squad. They could have said to, like, Cancelo or whoever's closer to him out of our team, they could have said, go speak to him and see if he would be up for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, now the World Cup's gone, he kind of shone a little bit in the World Cup, so he's going to have a lot of attention on him. But in the summer, it wasn't really the case as much, So, yeah, I think there was options there, basically. And City just didn't try. Even Leroy Sané, like, I know for a fact if they ask Leroy Sané now, you want to come back to City, I think he'd come back because he's literally in Manchester every other week at the moment. So clearly, I think his girlfriend, she's got a lot of friends here. So she always wants to be here. She supports City. She's always going on about how she still supports City, even though he plays for Bayern. So honestly, I think we could get him back if we tried. I'm not saying, like, I know some people say when a player leaves, you should just, like, get over it and move on. But he is an option. I'm not saying he's the only option, but he's someone that I think it would be easy to get, and he's going to slot back in. It's not like he's going to have to adapt. So, yeah, there's options, but City. I think we're just missing what he offered more than him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, first. You lot, we're still one shot, man. We're at 29. Get up to 30 likes, people. Get us up to 30 likes, man. That's the next milestone. Ravi says, question for Jan, do you think Calvin Phillips will get more game time?
Yeah, there's so many games in a season. The problem with Calvin Phillips is because of his injuries, he's not been able to come in and get, like, a run of games. And obviously Rodri, for me, is the best DM in the league. So
yeah, of course you're going to say
you can't be dropping him. Do you know what I mean? The only time you can really play Calvin Phillips is when Rodri's on a yellow card and it looks like he might get sent off, or if we're playing a cup game. But the cup games, the teams that we played recently is Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea, and now Arsenal. So
good.
It's not really, and Southampton were the other one, and Southampton is the one that he actually played, and it went badly. So, yeah, it's one of them. I think Pep is not going to trust him. Yeah, I don't think. But that being said, he probably will start against Arsenal because I don't know if Rodri is going to play every single game. So we will see.
And to Ravi, you said, nah, Jan Casemiro's taking Rodri's place for best DM this season.
Nah,
You know who's the best DM in the league? You just don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to admit it. Jan hella bias. We all know it's Casemiro. You know it is. We all know it is. Say again?
I genuinely believe that Rodri is better.
Yeah. Of course you would say it. I would expect nothing less from you. You know what I'm saying? I would expect you not to. I know what you're like. You're hella biased. I know this. That's why. I know you was going to say that. You don't even have to tell me. Say again?
I'm speaking facts, babes.
Oh, okay, darling. Wherever you saying it. Okay. All right.
At least you agree now. Because I thought you
don't. It was definitely Casemiro, boy. It's not even. What's understood ain't gotta be spoken about. Like I already know this. Jez says, to be honest, Sane isn't the same player he used to be pre-Bayern and pre-injury. Jez goes on to say he would have.
I think he'd still do it, I would say. Yeah,
that's true. He would offer something different, but produce a high level at City like he did before. I doubt it. But would he produce? Yeah, it depends how far he's fallen off. Yeah, go on.
I think the way you've got to see it is right now we don't have pace, so we don't have pace. So if he comes and he makes runs, that already is what we're missing. Because the thing is with Sterling, his end product was not always the best. So Sterling would make runs, he'd pull defenders out of positions, and it would make it easier for other players to have space. And that's what he used to do. So imagine you've got Haaland up front now. And Sterling's making, and this is what I don't understand about Sterling leaving, because he was so good with a striker. And then he left City. This false nine was when he was at his worst. Like the last 2 seasons for Sterling, he was struggling, so he was playing false nine. And then the minute we get a striker in, he decides to leave. It makes sense because I think he would have been back to his best if he'd have stayed at City. Now he's gone to Chelsea, who are playing with a false nine. So he's not again. So I don't, from his point of view, I don't really get it. So
Fairs. Yo, we've gone over 30 likes. Big up to you lot. Next step is 40 likes. We're 9 short. But let's do that, people. Subscriber check as well. We're still 5 short on that milestone as well. Hit the subscriber button. Hit the notification bell as well. It is road to 5K. We are currently 55. We're 55 away. We're trying to get there before the month's out. It's going to be tough, but we're trying to get there before the month is out. Hit the subscriber button. Hit the notification bell. Get us to 5K. And, yo, get us up to 40 likes as well. There's over 40 of you lot locked in. Say again?
I said, tell your grandma to subscribe.
Exactly, man. Tell somebody to tell everybody to subscribe. Absolutely. And I was going to get to this, but you kind of touched on this where he said as much criticism that Sterling got from fans, his movement and attacking intelligence was elite for us. He just didn't have his shooting boots on enough for us. Yeah, I say it all the time.
Yeah, that was his issue. His end product was not the best, but it didn't matter because so many of our players were getting goals. Now the problem is the players that don't have the best finishing, like Grealish, they're kind of being exposed now because you're looking for goals. So you're looking at them players. If City win 4-0, no one cares that Grealish didn't get a goal and assist. If it's 0-0, people are looking at who is the attackers and what should they have done. So everyone is getting tarred with the same brush. You know, Bernardo Silva doesn't score too many goals. You know, when he does, they tend to be very good. But he doesn't score too many goals. Like he doesn't create too many goals. Like he's more the guy before the pass to De Bruyne, which then becomes an assist sort of thing. He's like the pre-assist guy. But when you're not winning, it's more noticeable. You know, so I think he's actually our second assister this season. I think something daft like that. So that says it all. It's we're not scoring enough goals this season, and it sounds crazy because we've actually scored, I think, one of the most goals in the league. But from a City point of view, we're actually used to more.
I'll tell you now. I'm just having a look at the table as we speak. Let me have a look. This is just in the Premier League.
Yeah, we got the best goal difference in the league, but
I'm
it's crazy because it feels like, from a City fan point of view, it feels like we're conceding goals and we're not scoring, but we actually
scored the most in the league. You scored 53 goals in the league, so that's more than anybody. Arsenal are at 45, Spurs are at 40. Yeah, so you scored the most, and you've got You got the third best defense in the league. You've only conceded 20.
I know, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It feels like a lot worse. I know statistically it's not that bad, but it just feels bad. I don't know why. Maybe it's because recently we've.
It's because of the levels. Yeah, it's because of the levels you set. When you set the levels you've set, you shouldn't be second by 5 to 8 points.
Oh God, yeah.
In January, it feels off.
Not like us.
I'm saying Pep in it. Like I say, don't let Pep lose his league title to Arteta. That's all I'm gonna say in it. Don't let him do that. Oh, we crashing on Pep if that happens. Flawless question.
You can't even do that because, like, the thing is with Pep is like, as much as people are trying to flip it the other way, it just shows like how he is as a manager. Because if you think about it, Arteta, I'm not saying he learned everything from Pep because obviously he's his own person. But to work under Pep, when he left, everyone was saying he's out of his depth. And that's why it annoys me when people are coming and slandering like me when I was the one that was bigging up Arteta and getting slandered like rated him. But obviously he's a good manager, but I think he did learn a lot of what he's doing from Pep. You can see like the ideas and stuff like that. So I think it doesn't. I think people are trying to say it shows that Pep it like damages Pep. You could argue the other way. Like he's got Vincent Kompany who's doing really well, Xavi who's doing really well, and Arteta who's doing really well, and they've all even Ten Hag has been under Pep at one stage. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So all these managers that are doing well have been inspired to an extent by Pep. So
yeah, your apprentice can't kick your ass in it. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like Danielson can't be busting up Mr. Miyagi. This is not it. We can't. I'm crashing on Pep. Lewis, I don't know if he's still in the chat. Agenda FC loading if Arsenal win this league title. We crashing on Pep that entire stream.
Nah, to be honest, if Arsenal realistically, if Arsenal win this league, they're gonna have to get probably 90 odd points. So I think if a team gets 90 odd points, they deserve to win the league. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Liverpool didn't, so hey, Liverpool hold that.
Liverpool were competing against us. I'm saying if City don't get 80 points, 90 points, sorry, that's rare.
Flawless question. Do you think Anthony needs to do better 1v1s? Yeah, I'd like to see him take because I've seen him do it sometimes, but I don't know if it's his gameplay, just the way he plays, and two, the instructions that Ten Hag's given him is to cut inside and pass more. But I've seen him go past players, yeah. Would I like to see him do more? Yes, but that's just my personal preference. But we're a side who's still in progress, and I think as we become a more possession-based side and we start dominating the ball, it will give Anthony more opportunity to take on his man, show off his skill set, etc., etc. But like currently where we're at now, does he need to improve? Yes, but all our attackers need to improve. I don't like how our whole attack is playing. I take out Rashford, like Rashford's been doing his thing, even though he wasn't great against Forest. But Weghorst isn't like, he's not first choice. I'm not going to stick on Weghorst. So we don't have a striker. Bruno's not been at it. Anthony needs to improve. Eriksen hasn't been at it recently, but we still got levels. We still have levels to improve, is what I'm saying. Like where the attack is the worst part of our team. Like we've played legit. The 3 last matches Manchester United have played, we've had the same issue in each match in terms of forward line. Like against Palace, defensively we were fine. The build-up play through our defensive third, through the middle third, into the final third is fine. And then the ball gets to the final third, and then that's where the problems arise. Same way with Arsenal, even though defensively we weren't as good. Again, and actually we didn't even get on the ball, but we didn't create nothing. Against Palace, we didn't create enough. Against Arsenal, we didn't create enough. We scored 3 goals against Forest, and I'm here saying we didn't create enough. Anthony had the chance. Eriksen hit the bar, but like Eriksen hit the bar from outside the area. So you don't say that's a clear-cut chance. Weghorst, the cross that Pelestri put in for him, that's pretty much it. But again, I understand that Ten Hag hasn't invested heavily there. United's investment heavily has been the defensive side. And that's why our team has been so much better defensively. You know I'm saying with Martinez, with Malacia, with Casemiro, even with Eriksen, like even though he's not the best in transition, just the shape that he helps us in. Like our midfield is so much better. So much better. Like than it has been. Yeah, Casemiro and Eriksen are a vast improvement of McTominay and Fred. That is not chalk and cheese. That is out of this universe. Like, yeah. Like we've gone from having one of the worst midfield pivots in the league to one of the best. I'm saying, are we the best? That's debatable. But what I'm saying is one of the best. We have one of the best midfield pivots in the league.
Yeah,
Like, do we need to improve Bruno? Yeah. Say again.
McTominay, your guy, is still there. So
Who's your guy? Yeah, because Calvin Phillips, your guy's still there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And
I like
yeah.
Calvin Phillips. He's all right.
Yeah. See that? That's I like you as a friend. That's what that means.
Yeah,
but yes, to answer your
friend.
Say that again.
That's true. I like him as a friend.
Yeah. Flawless. But yeah, to answer the question, Ravi, yeah, all our attackers need to do better. Yes, but Anthony's 22, so I'm gonna give him the season to get acclimatized to the league. That's what I'm saying. But that's just me though. People won't stick it on him though. Where else we at? Jan and Flawless. Haaland getting 40 goals by the end of the season or more. How many is he on now? 25.
20.
How many goals has he got?
Is it?
Yeah, he's gonna get 40. Yes. In all competitions, yes, he's gonna get 40.
This season, because someone was asking me, obviously, at the start of the season, a lot of people saying, how many goals is he going to get? And I was like, obviously, I don't know, because we've not seen him in the Prem. So, you know, it's not always guaranteed to, like, fire in every single league. Do you know what I mean? So, and at every single team as well, because certain people are suited better for.
Man's got 31 goals across all
competitions. So I didn't know. I said if he got.
He's got 31 goals across all competitions already.
Yeah, I said that he might. I said that he might win the Golden Boot, and like people saying, "Oh my God, no!" So I said he'll probably get like, because the Golden Boot's normally about 25 goals, isn't it? 23, 20. So I thought he might get 20 in the season, so he'd be maybe second to the Golden Boot. But he's doing a lot more than I thought, and I'm. Haaland's big fans as well.
So to answer to your question, Ravi, yes, he's going to get more than 9 goals from now up until the end of the season. Man's got 31 goals across all comps. That is crazy. That is wild, man.
That's why people start saying stuff like about him. It's like he's doing his job. Like
that is outrageous. That is outrageous. Sancho and your other players healthy. Who are your front three? Depends on the opposition, Vale. That's what I would say. Depends on the opposition, but we need improvements in those areas anyway. The only position I'd say right now is nailed on in terms of Rashford, but we need to go into the striker market. Everyone knows that, and I agree with that. Right-hand side, I'm going to give Anthony the next season, and we need a new 10.
Weghorst, yeah?
So we need, no, I like Weghorst, though, but for first choice, no. But I like Weghorst. I'm a fan. I hope we sign him permanently next season. Like, I would keep him on as a third option, 100%. But, yeah, like...
You might want him back if he's in the Prem, innit?
Who?
Company if he gets up.
Yo, we'll just slap them 10 million, Burnley or Manchester United. That's a no-brainer. Like, yo, take this 10 million and show up. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. So yeah, Veta, it depends. This season, it properly depends on the opposition and who we're playing. Because none of these attackers, I'm like, yeah, that's the guy. Rashford's in form, yes. Like I say, Anthony's new. Bruno, I'm not a fan of like that. Weghorst is doing a job. I have no complaints about that. Martial can't stay fit. Garnacho's young. Palestri's young. Sancho will be back, but I want to see Sancho play through the middle. I want to see Sancho play through the middle. I actually want to see him play as a false 9. I've said this. Against teams where we're dominating the possession, I'd like to see him in a 10. But I want to see him as because it's somewhere we're short, and we are really short in attacking areas. We really are short in attacking areas. I'm telling you. Jan and Flawless, thoughts on your team's link-up play this season. I said it just then, Ravi, and I'll say it again. Manchester United's build-up play from our defensive third through the middle up until the final third has been fantastic. I've not seen us move the ball like this in years. I got no qualms with that. The problem is when the ball gets into the final third. But that's a lack of quality up there. But I love where Manchester United are headed. I love it. Like, we're well ahead of schedule. I would have never expected to Manchester United to have been this good this quickly. And we still have levels to go because we're nowhere near Premier League, Champions League winning standard. But it's a vast improvement.
You were in a last week for 3 days.
No, he wasn't. I never said that. You better go talk to a fan who said that. I never said that. Title race. I'm too smart for that. What are you saying though? City's link-up play this season.
Well, obviously, it's everyone's been complaining about it, but I mean, we've been all right. It's the usual. We're passing, but I just think last season, I don't know. It's weird because City sort of always start the season a bit rocky, and then they get their rhythm going in sort of the end of November, the start of December. But because the World Cup hit us right at the time where we normally get in our rhythm, we actually came back and ended up. It's basically like a restart to the season. So we went back to being a little bit unfit looking. Do you know what I mean? A little bit out of sync. And then
Sluggish.
we kind of seem to be picking up a bit of pace now. Like even in the derby, like I don't think City were that bad. Like people are talking about, oh, City were bad. Yeah, we didn't have enough shots on target, of course, but I don't think we were terrible in that game. I think if it had, it could have ended 1-0. Do you know what I mean? Potentially. So, yeah, I don't think we were as bad. Like people are making out like we were dreadful. I don't think we were good enough, but we also weren't bad. It was one of them games that, you know, it could have been any result. It could have been a draw. Could have been a City win. Considering how late we scored, do you know what I mean? It could have been a City win, and it obviously ended up in a United win. So it could have gone any way. I don't think it was. I think people were being a bit over dramatic about.
Of course, this is derby. You know what people are like. You've seen enough derbies to not get like emotional and like over the top like after the game. You know what I'm saying? And Victor says no shots on target. Sounds familiar, but don't worry about it. Hey, big up Chelsea, man. Yo, you man are doing bits, man. You lot are putting. Unfortunately, I actually think Chelsea putting together a good team.
That's the thing.
Chelsea putting together a good team. You know what I'm saying, unfortunately, I can't deal with their fans when their man are good. Fucking annoying.
Yeah, what about Felix? Felix is going to shoot surely when he comes back.
Yeah. They'll like I said, the team they are putting together is looking good. Not so much this season, but the next season.
I like Felix. I think. I would have, like I said, I wanted him when we were looking for a false nine because I thought
he suits you lot. Yeah, he does.
I would have taken him, to be honest. I know the loan is a bit much. Like City are not going to pay that for a loan because City like to get players on like full term so they know what they're doing. Long term. So they know what they're doing. But that being said, Chelsea might be able to buy him. So it might be worth that 11 million. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Hey, you lot, there's over 50 of you lot locked in. We're 4 short, man. 40 likes, yo. 40 likes is what we're looking for. Everyone here hasn't hit that like button. I know that for a fact. I know that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. We're 5 short.
Like button. Shame on you.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? And that facts. Continue to get your questions in, people. Get your questions in. Just keep them Manchester City and Manchester United related as well. And obviously, I pick out the best questions, people. Hey, big up to Ravi, says big up Flawless and Yan. Big show tonight. Big up Ravi every single time. Dominic says if Ten Hag got back this summer like he did last summer, United will challenge for a title. I agree. I'm not saying we win it, but if we go and have this next summer and go sign 4 or 5 players and they have the impact of the 4 or 5 players we signed, yeah, I'm with it. Go on.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You know what's interesting?
Well, yeah, she out here doing her washing and that while she's on the show. See this fucking Cardell, people. What a clown.
Yeah, you know what's interesting?
Go on.
Like what Newcastle are going to do. Because they've not really entered the market. Because remember they were saying they could spend 300 million before they even got started. And then they haven't actually... Obviously, they spent money, but they've not... I think Kendall was saying that they can... From this season, they can spend, like, big. So... It'd be interesting to see what they do, to be honest.
Well, Newcastle don't want. You got Arsenal, depending on how their season goes. You have Newcastle, you mentioned. You got Manchester United. You have Chelsea. You've got Liverpool, depending on what goes on. It's going to be in City. Like you lot, especially if you don't win a major trophy this season, there's you lot as well. So it's going to be very interesting. I can see a lot of movement in the transfer market for all teams.
There's often patterns in football, and if you look at Man City's pattern under Pep, it's been 2 seasons on, 1 season off. 2 seasons on, 1 season off. That's how it's gone. Back to back, second. Back to back, second. Back to back. We could finish second this season. So I'm not worried about it. If we were dropping down the table, and like we're in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, I'd be thinking, oh, this is not like City. But like I say, if Arsenal go out there, they've already got 50 points, which is impressive. If they continue on this run and they go on and get maximum points, they can get 100 points at the moment. So if they get them 100 points or 103, I think they can get. if they get them points, they fully are deserving of the league. You cannot fault a team that get 103 points. Do you know what I mean? Do I think they'll win every game? No. Do I think City will win every game? No. So there's still points to be dropped. It depends where we drop them. If we drop them against Arsenal, that doesn't help. If we drop them after Arsenal drop points, it doesn't matter as much. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of depends where we drop them. Because even if City drop 10 more points, if we drop them in the last 3 games, by then we might already be top of the league. So it won't matter. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if we lose them now, Arsenal will be so far ahead, I don't see them crumbling. So yeah, it just depends on, I think, who drops points first. It's kind of like last season with Liverpool, when it got to the end of the season, and it was very much like Liverpool was saying, if City drop points, and then we were dropping points, but then they were dropping points, and it was like, it just equaled itself out, you know. So
yeah,
we will see.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, you lot, good questions. Don't worry, man. I'm starring the best ones. I will get to them, people. I am starring the best questions, and I will get to. But you lot gotta ask questions, not make statements, and I will get to them as well. Let's go to. We'll go here. Vaya says, "How will De Gea leave United? Kicked out the door or applauded out?" Now it'll be applauded. He'll be applauded because one, he's been successful here. He's won, I think, every trophy here. Bar the Champions League. He's won every single trophy here. So, and he's been a servant. He's a fan favorite. He's been like player of the year like 4 or 5 times. And I think it was like 4 years in a row. So yeah, he'll definitely be applauded, and I will. And for all my criticisms of De Gea, it's because of his performances. But this season he's been better. I like the more modern day goalkeeping thing, sweeping, playing out from the back. There's still levels to go, and that's why eventually I would move him on, whether it was this summer or the summer after. But yeah, I'll definitely be applauded out. 100% will be applauded out. Jan, can I ask you, why do you think Pep doesn't play Alvarez and Haaland more together? I think they complement each other well, and Alvarez confidence-wise is as high. His confidence-wise is high due to the World Cup. That's from Curry Pirate.
I agree. I think they complement each other too, and they've actually done quite well when they have played together. I was a bit gutted against Spurs because I thought, we're losing the game and Pep's going to think it didn't work. When actually, I think the first goal was ridiculous. It was I would call that an Ederson own goal because he passed it to the player and then he kicked it back in. That to me is it's an assist from Ederson. So that, I don't count that as poor defending from our defense or anything like that, because let's be honest, the only thing that they could have done is said, don't pass to me. But Ederson is the one that can see who's behind him. So Ederson should be the one that says, right, there's a guy behind him, let me not pass to him. So for me, that's all on Ederson. I wouldn't blame anyone else for that. The second goal, I think Rodri made a mistake, and then...
Before you continue, hey, Beta Games, nothing but love, you already know, man. And big up, man. Big up for joining. Yeah, go on, carry on. Just wanted to salute, man, because he said he was going. Yeah, go on.
Peace out, Beta. But, yeah, like... It's one of them where I don't really think that game was like terrible from our players, if that makes sense. I think it was more like 2 moments of madness at the back, which City often do, because when we concede, we start panicking and we concede again, which happened with United as well. So yeah, it's one of them things. We do that sometimes, but I didn't think that had anything to do with Haaland and Alvarez playing together. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. I think they played well, and obviously we managed to come back in the end. Alvarez got the first goal, Haaland got the second goal. So yeah, I think they do. I think Alvarez, his pressing is something else. That's what Gabriel Jesus used to be good at, and we lost that when we lost him. And I think Alvarez is probably even better than Jesus at doing that. So he's great at pressing. He's just everywhere. Like, you just see Alvarez everywhere. Like, sometimes you're like, where is he? He's not in the box, and you're looking and he's just here, there, and everywhere. Haaland, he will stay more in the box, or, you know, he does get about. He will come back and tackle, and he'll, you know, come and get the ball and pass it and ask for a 1-2, and the team just ignore him and pass to someone else. But, like, he will try and do that. But yeah, I think together it works, because as a defender, you don't know whether to go with Alvarez or Haaland because they're both quite clinical. So it's not like you can say, oh, yeah, Alvarez is going to miss. We'll just go after Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Because Alvarez has got a good shot on him. So, yeah, we will see. Pep's been swapping and changing. I don't think it can do any harm playing Alvarez. The only thing I would say is Mahrez is probably our most informed player. So it's quite hard to drop Mahrez right now. And Grealish is actually, to be fair to him, one of our
Here's an idea. What about back three for you lot? How did you suit that?
Yeah, but what he's doing at the moment is he's having, when he plays Rico Lewis, if you've noticed, he's cutting in. Like, he doesn't stay as a right back. He cuts into midfield. So
he's inverted.
Rico Lewis, by the way, he's been brilliant. And he doesn't look out of place. And he's only 18. He looks like he's been there for years, So I have to big him up. A lot of people were saying, I don't think he should start. I think it was in one of the big games. They said, I don't think he should start because obviously he's young and blah, blah, blah. And he just doesn't look out of place. So
he does look. Every time I've watched him, he looks like that's the biggest compliment you can pay him. He doesn't look out of his place. He doesn't look like he's 18. Looks like he's playing within the. But he would have been playing with that under that same setup at the youth levels anyway. You know what Pep's like. He's a drill sergeant. So
and the thing as well is he's keeping. It's not like we've not really had a left back. So when you're keeping a left back out, it's like, well, to be honest, City don't really have natural left backs. Like Sergio Gomez is a midfielder turned left back. Zinchenko was a midfielder turned left back. Cancelo is a right back turned left back. But for some reason, João Cancelo is better on the left now than he is on the right, weirdly. But yes, that's him. So we don't actually have a natural left back, but Rico Lewis is actually keeping out Kyle Walker and João Cancelo. So he's keeping out two right backs. So yeah, he's doing really well, and he just seems to be loving it. And Pep made a good point the other day, and Arsenal fans took it the wrong way and thought he was dissing Arsenal, but he actually wasn't.
Yeah, he was dissing him.
You know what he said? He basically said that Arsenal have all the passion to win the league because they've not won it. And he's talking about players. He said, Man City, he basically said when he won at Barcelona, when it got to his third and fourth years, he felt like, his fourth and fifth, he'd already won the league 3 times. So he said he didn't care. So he said he went into the next season and he said Real Madrid won it back to back. Because he said that he didn't.
It's hard to be hungry on a full stomach.
To be motivated, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to be hungry on a full stomach. Absolutely.
Yeah, Pep wants players that I've seen Man City players fight for their life to win a title. Like
I know. Tell me about it. Yeah,
he was doing to win titles, like what Aguero was doing to win titles. We've seen these players do that, and I was feeling this season as well. You're not seeing that passion from the players. You're not seeing that. Oh, we need to win this game. Like they're kind of running around. It's 1-1. There's 2 minutes to go, and they're just passing back. And it's like, you do know you need to win this game. So, yeah, I think he's right. And to be fair, what Pep's done now is he's playing all the passionate players and the players that, like Rico Lewis, that haven't won the league and want to go and win it, So, yeah, it's definitely good.
Yes, and you lot, there's over 50 of you lot locked in. Right, yo, we just hit the 40 mark. I just hit the 40 like mark. 10 more people. Let's get up to 50 likes. That is the next like check. We got 41. We're 9 short now. We're 50 likes. Subscriber check as well. We're 3 short of 4,950. We are at 4,947. Where else you getting great content like this, talking about 2 great clubs in Manchester? You know what I'm saying? So people, hit the subscribe button. It all helps the channel. Hit the notification bell. Check out the upcoming live stream schedule. Let me repeat again. Everyone who was blocked on the channel has been unblocked. Everybody is out of the Sarcasm City jail. So tell everyone, if there's anyone who's been messaging people and be like, yo, I'm blocked on the channel. Everybody's been unblocked. You know what I'm saying? Everyone got second chances. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's unblocked. I let everybody out of jail yesterday.
You even unblocked me. That's so nice.
You were never blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold that. You know what I'm saying? See, she's just lying. When was you blocked?
Don't know.
I never blocked your account. You know what I'm saying? Right.
To be fair, you comment and you didn't see my comments, so maybe I was blocked.
Nah, if you comment, I wouldn't be it just wouldn't write. It wouldn't send. You ain't commented, man. What are you talking about?
I
Sure,
do.
man. You're just lying. When did this happen?
Oh,
When?
all
Did
the
you swear
time.
it? Did
No,
you swear? Did you
no,
swear? Maybe I was just ignoring you, innit? You know what I'm saying? I was probably just ignoring you, to be honest. You know what I'm
that's what I
saying?
mean.
Yeah, so that's not blocking you. That's just me ignoring you. That's all. You probably said some shit like you're Ryan or something. I'm like, I can't be asked for this. Flawless, do you think Ten Hag has upped a lot of players' games, especially the ones that were looking out of form since he's come in? Yes, but that's what a good coach does. That's what a good manager does. Gets the most out of what he has. And that's why I'm super impressed with what Ten Hag's doing. This guy's cooking up gourmet meals and he don't have his ingredients. Some of the ingredients are shoddy, but he's still managing to get performances and put up results. We don't get beat often. I think we've lost last like 23 matches or something crazy like that. We won 19 out of like the
You need
last
to get beat
24.
more, man. What the
Something
hell?
crazy. See, look, you got people hating. People didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Previously, you need to get beat more. Like, we cooking.
Do you know what?
Absolutely. That's why I'm over the moon. Go on.
I feel like that. Like, I feel like City lose more than they do. Somebody said like a statement a while back, and it was like City have lost like one game in 52 at home, and I was like, that does not feel like that. But I think because draws feel like losses, whenever you don't win, you come out feeling like you've lost. So it's like you don't have that sense of, oh, you know, we've hardly lost any games. You know what I mean? Like this season, we've lost 3. One was to Brentford, one was to United, and one was to Liverpool. So the teams that somebody asked earlier, I saw it in the comments, like, what do you think about, I think it was Ravi, he said, what do you think about the 3 losses? I think the Brentford one, we actually did what we normally do. We just played the whole game in their half, and their goalkeeper had a good game. I didn't see the whole game, to be honest, but from what I could get from the stats and like what people were saying, it felt like a typical game where we did that. And they counter-attacked us, and Ivan Toney scored both goals. And one of them was late on, like 90 something. So
yeah, it was late. It was very, very late.
They'll just take not they'll take a draw, but they probably were going for a winner, but not feeling like they needed to defend too much. You know what I mean? And Brentford went and took their opportunity. I think Brentford had 2 shots on goal, 2 goals. So
crazy.
It's one of them games. It's almost like a smash and grab, even though Brentford deserved to win, if that makes sense. And then the Man United game, I don't think we did enough.
No,
but I don't think we were helped by that. That decision's one of the craziest decisions I've seen.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
In football.
No, man, it was you watch basketball. Wait, yeah, you watch basketball. Rashford was just blocking man out, top of the key, and that set a screen.
I've never ever seen that since I've watched football, and I've been watching it a long time. That was
man.
bad.
You've been watching a hell of a long time.
The problem that I have with City is when that happens to you, like when you don't get a decision, so you don't get a penalty, you don't get this, that, and the other. Like you have to just move on instantly. You cannot think, oh well, we're hard done by, because before you know it, the ball's in the back of the net again, and now you're 2-0 down. So you're 2-1. So it's like City need to stop panicking when we concede a goal. At that time, it was 1-1. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. You need one more chance. You need one more. You know, you could end up with a penalty or anything. Obviously, not us in a derby, but you could potentially get a decision or a free kick or something that can lead to you scoring a goal. Do you know what I mean? Even if you don't create anything. So I think City panicking the way they did really wasn't good, because then it was kind of like the game was. I knew from when United scored the second, the game was done, because we haven't been scoring late goals too often. And when we do, it's normally when the game, actually against Fulham we did it, but we don't tend to score too many late goals in them sort of games where the team are good enough to kind of see out the game. So yeah, I think that game was a bit of a shambles. And then the other one, Liverpool was a bit of a weird one, because I don't think we were that bad, but we got beat from a Salah goal. But Salah always scored against City. So, yeah, I don't know. And there's nothing that I've seen about City this season that makes me worried for next season. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think the games that we'd lost, it's kind of like, should we have lost that game? No. However, you just got to pick up from there. You know, I don't think it's that deep.
Absolutely. And there's now over 60 of you lot locked in, which is big, which means you lot have been sharing it on the socials. So love for that. But let's get up to 50 likes. We're 5 short of 50 likes. We're 2 short of the subscriber check as well.
45.
Say that again.
Let's get the 5 by 45.
Yes, let's get the 5 by 145. Love that. So hit that like button. Go on.
When Lewis came in that space and you were going on about 5 because they got beat 5-0 or something.
5-2. It was by West Brom when they got beat 5-2. And he said, who pulled up? Was it Pulisic? And he said Pulisic pulled up, and I said, yo, he didn't take 5 minutes to stretch. Yeah. That's still on my Instagram. That shit was hilarious, and that, you know what I'm saying? Look at you cracking up. By the time you were trying to make out like I was the bad guy for doing
you were being bad still, to be fair.
Why was I being bad? Let us get beat 5-2 at home to West Brom. What would it have been then? No one don't feel sorry for me.
Yeah, remember when Lukaku played for West Brom and he scored 4 against you?
Yeah,
I remember that at the end of the season.
Yeah, that was it was 5-5 that game or something crazy like that. It was, man. Crazy.
And he scored like 4 of the 5 or something.
It's crazy, man. Shout out to Chelsea's finest, Romelu Lukaku.
Does he still play for Chelsea? Is he still a Chelsea
but he's on loan. Yeah, he's still a Chelsea player. Yeah, he's on loan at Inter Milan, but he's not been playing there. They're going to send him back. Raymond says, did you hear about Ajax sacking their manager? Yes, this did pop up on the timeline. It's not as easy. People just think, oh, Dutch league, you're Ajax, you can just win the league. And nah, man, give credit to what Ten Hag does. People want to do that so much, especially people who don't watch the league. You just think, oh, you go there and it's calm. We even seen Nagelsmann at Bayern Munich. I believe they're top of their league, but they're not playing very, very well. And they're not Bayern Munich. I give credit to managers who go to these places and perform well. Give credit to them. You can see Ten Hag's a good manager. Like, just open your 2 eyes and just watch Manchester United from now and then last season.
As much as you can look at it one way or the other. You can look at it as this team win the league all the time. So you would expect them players to go and win the league again. However, you also have to look at it as the expectation is also to win the league every year. So if we got a manager now, no one's going to be like, well done, you got Man City to second. That's not good enough. It's either he wins the league and he's a success, or he doesn't win the league and he's a failure.
Yes.
Whereas he could manage any other team outside of City in the Prem and probably be celebrated for finishing second. Like, oh, well done, you did really well. You know, like that sort of thing. So it's a lot of pressure for the managers. And that's what I said about Poch when Poch left Tottenham and went to PSG. And I was saying he's gone from a job where every little achievement, and don't get me wrong, he achieved great stuff with Tottenham. He did really well.
Yeah, he did.
But every little achievement at Tottenham is going to be celebrated a lot more. You go to PSG, if you do not win the league, you failed, because they're expecting that. They're expecting a Champions League semi-final. They're expecting these sorts of things. So if you don't do that, automatically you've underperformed, you know. So that's why it makes me laugh when people say, like, oh, Pep couldn't do it at Burnley. Well, okay, maybe he couldn't do it at Burnley. We don't know. However, Pep's achievements at Burnley, if he gets them up to the Prem, then he's had success.
Yeah,
so it's very different to Man City, where he's expected to win everything every year. Otherwise, people are calling him a fraud. So it's literally, we don't know how he would do, because I've not the only team we've seen where you can say it's sort of the equivalent is Barcelona B. He's not had like a lesser job than the top teams. However, his standards are very high, so he has to win. Whereas at other clubs, he wouldn't have that pressure. So maybe he would perform well because he wouldn't have pressure to win everything. You know, who knows?
You're right. Now you're right. And to Victor was saying this, and I know Paul just said what he said in the chat, but he says Andy Carroll still plays for Reading. Yeah, he's scoring against you, man, on Saturday. And then Paul says, no, Victor, as Andy Carroll is out injured. I had no idea Andy Carroll was still playing football. I did not know he played for Reading either. Shout out to Andy Carroll, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Andy Carroll. Victor put, fuck, I was going to watch the game if he played. Now there's no point. Is that how bad it is for Chelsea? That you were going to watch the game, yeah? for Andy Carroll. Hey, Victor, hold that, fam. Hold that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say about that. But yeah, I'm actually glad he's out injured because it is the type of game he would score in 100%. Ravi says, and don't worry, hey, big up to Taza in the cut. I have starred. We are slightly behind on the comments, but don't worry, I've starred all the best questions. Don't worry about it. Just please keep them Manchester City, Manchester United related. And we're one short of 50 likes as well. And we're one short of the subscriber check. We are 51 subscribers away. Serious. 1 like, 1 subscriber. That's all we're looking for, people. Flawless at United still looking at Raya from Brentford as a keeper replacement. I've heard this as a rumor. How true it is, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Victor says, this is interesting. Are we going to talk about Edison this season or are we keeping it till next season? What's your thoughts on Edison?
Edison. The last time I voiced my opinion on Edison, people tried to cancel me, innit? Edison.
This is safe space. Get it off your chest, man. I don't sugarcoat
so
it.
That guy, my brother from another mother, you know.
Who Edison?
Edison, yeah.
Someone about to criticize my brother, innit? All right, okay. Here we go. Go on. I really like him as a friend. Go on. This is it. Go on.
I don't. So Edison, right? He is crazy for starters. So what happens is normal goalkeepers, they step on the pitch and they do what they're there to do, which is goalkeep. Our goalkeeper gets bored 25 minutes in and thinks, oh, what can I do? So he'll do something mad. So like the Spurs games, for example, Spurs weren't threatening City defensively, really, weren't doing much. Edison said, you know what, have a shot. Here you go. Pass them the ball. And it's 1-0. So, you know, things like that, not great. I was fuming. I was fucking fuming when he let that goal in. I was fuming differently. I was like, are you fucking taking the piss? The only thing that was the saving grace is that it wasn't Harry Kane that scored. Because if that had happened, I would have ran on the pitch and slide tackled him or something. But yeah, no, it's one of them. I think Edison is very good at what he does. He strangely this season, I don't think his passing has been as good because normally his passing is on point. So when he kicks the ball out, he can pinpoint that ball onto like De Bruyne, or he can start an attack, or he can even get an assist. Like he is that good. However, this season I haven't really seen it from him. I think his when he's kicking the ball out, it's not as good as it was last season. So I don't really know what's going on with him, to be honest. He needs to improve his shot stopping. Like I'm very critical of Edison because I know he can do better. Like if I thought that was his level, then I would be like, okay, fine, that's fair enough. But last season, actually, there was games, where City went through that sort of rocky patch like we always do. There was games where Edison was actually saving us. Like he was making key saves that stopped goals that meant we went on to win or draw that game. Like he was doing that. This season, not so much. So I think if you're going to praise him when he does well, you also have to criticize him when he doesn't do well. And I think this season, he's not been good enough. But people look at stats and stuff, and he's always going to be up there with the clean sheets because City as a team weren't conceding too many goals. But I think this season he's not done. Like for me, if it's 2 shots on target, 2 goals, you're doing something wrong. At least make a save. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm critical of Edison. I understand his role in our team. I do get it. Like Pep likes that sort of the whole team being midfielders. But he needs to improve his shot stopping because I think in the league you can maybe get away with it. In the Champions League you cannot. And that's why, one of the reasons why we struggled in the Champions League, because he's not going to make that massive save necessarily when the pressure's on us, even the Real Madrid game, one of them goals was straight at him. In that
man, brilliant.
Save it. So yeah, I'm highly critical of him. People get onto me for it, but I think at the same time, City are the best team in the league. Yes. Maybe not at the moment, but we are the best team in the league, and I expect the standards of them players to be higher. And I was having this discussion the other day about world class. People want to say X player is world class, And then they want to make excuses for why they're not doing stuff that other world-class players are doing. Well, no, you said they're world-class. So if you're saying he's a world-class striker, I can then go and compare him with the other world-class strikers in the world. And we can talk about why they're not doing what that player is doing. And you have to have, the standards have to be higher, you know. So, yeah, for me, in a team like City, Ederson needs to step up. And he's not the only one, but he does need to step up.
Yeah. All right, first, that's good. And you lot, big up to you lot. Not only have we hit 50 likes, we've also hit the 4,950 subscriber mark. So big up to the chat. Big up to you lot. You know what I'm saying? Big up to you lot. Next milestone, we're looking for 60 likes, people. So 10 more likes on top of the amount. We're looking for 60 likes. And we're looking for 5 more subscribers as well. So we're looking for 4,955. We're looking to be at under 50 away by the time the stream ends, short of 5K. Because we're aiming people to hit this 5K before the month is out. We're trying to get there before the 1st of February, people. So continue to subscribe. It all helps. Trust me, it all helps as well. Jess says, this is a good question, actually. You lot with the good questions. You lot just like being pricks to me. Jess says, who have you been disappointed with this season, Jan? Who have you been disappointed with?
I mean, recently, I feel like this season's kind of in parts because City actually started a bit poor, and then we did quite well for a bit, and then we kind of, after the World Cup, we've not been at our best, and then I think we're now kind of getting back a little bit to our best. So kind of been an up and down season. The ones that have underperformed so far, definitely Foden, 100%. He's not at his best. He's not been playing well. Like I wanted him as the front three with Haaland, and he's just not been as good as he normally is. I know Pep put him in the midfield, and he actually played a bit better in the midfield, which is his natural position, by the way. But yeah, he's not been the normal Foden. So I expect to see an improvement from him. Bernardo Silva, normally very, very good for us, normally everywhere on the pitch, normally intercepting everything. Ball stuck to his foot like glue, that's why they call him Bubblegum. All of that kind of stuff. This season, not so much. He's had some terrible games. Gundogan's been a weird one, because Gundogan's either been really good or really bad. There's no in between. He's either the best guy on the pitch, or it's like get him off at half time. I don't know what's going on with him. So yeah, there's him. Calvin Phillips can't keep fit, but he hasn't played too much, so I can't really fault him too much. I don't think Cole Palmer's been as good as he could have been. He's better than what he's been like, I would say. The defense, it's just at times it's been a bit of a shambles. Right. But I think our best defender is actually John Stones in terms of an all-rounder. And he's not been fit. And when he's come back, he's kind of half fit. So I think that's the biggest problem with our defence. And as much as people diss Diaz and Stones together is our best partnership. So
it seems that way.
Back together. Yeah, Akanji, a lot of people are slating Akanji. I think he's done all right. I think he's okay. I think I feel a bit bad for him because the games that we lose, he normally plays really well, and then he makes one mistake and we draw the game and everyone kind of blames him, but he was good up until that point. So I think people kind of crash on him a little bit too much. I think he's all right. And I love Aki. I think Aki's great. But unfortunately, when them two play together, they tend to lose. So I don't know what it is about them two, but I like them individually, but together doesn't always work. So I don't know. I think they both played against Spurs though. So maybe they're going to get better with a Stones next to them or whatever. But yeah, I'd say them. I think Grealish has been better than I thought he would be this season. I did expect him to step up in his second season because players normally do under Pep. I think he's actually been better than what people are giving him credit for. He's actually been playing really well at the moment anyway. Post-World Cup, definitely. Who else has been poor? De Bruyne has not been his best, which is crazy because De Bruyne is actually on track to beat his assist record.
Assist record, yeah. I swear he's top of the assist. He's not top of the assist chart.
Yeah, he's got 10 assists or 11. 10 or 11? I think he's got 10 or 11. One of them. But he is literally not at his best, and he's still got his best chance, which says it all about Haaland, to be honest. But yeah, I think De Bruyne needs to improve. If we're gonna go and win this league, he needs to be back at his best. And he's giving the ball away more than he normally does, and I don't know. It's Kyle Walker, normally very, very solid for us. He's now sat on the bench because of Rico Lewis. That says it all. GyalDem, what can I say? He's either a 7 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. There's no bad. No, just at times, like, I don't think he's that bad, but he's not been good enough. Like, the thing is with me, I hold our players to the standards that they actually are at. I don't just blame them. So it's like, if you are, I know GyalDem was a great player, but I'm not really seeing it too much this season. So, yeah, I don't think our squad's weird because, like, when we lose a game, you can't even blame, like, one person because sometimes they're just all terrible. So, yeah. I'm probably being a bit harsh because my team are actually still good and they're still second in the league, even with their struggles. But at the same time, these players can do better. So
absolutely, they can do better because we know the levels they've set previously. They 100% can do better.
I'm expecting to be better from them now. It's in the second half of the season, so we will see.
It is. Again, you lot, good questions. Taz, you kind of touched on it, but we'll go further. Big up, man. Taz. It says, Jan, what do you think of Foden this season? Apart from Manchester United at home when he scored a hat-trick, I don't remember a good Foden performance of major impact. Thoughts? I don't know if y'all have touched on this already, so I'll let you.
I think there was one game where he played in the midfield and he played quite well. I think it might have been the 4-0 against Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. I think it might have been that. But yeah, he's not been at his best or near close to it this season. And it's strange because I was saying a few months ago, I don't want to see Grealish and Mahrez because they were too slow and it didn't work. And now, post World Cup, they've actually turned into our best
winger pairing.
Like, yeah, they're actually the best right now. So yeah, Pep's on my Twitter. I know it for a fact because I was saying that, and next minute he played the other two, and then was like, bro.
Yo, Pep's on your Twitter. Tell him, subscribe to the channel and drop a couple super chats and that. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do.
Need to join a space.
No, fuck all that. Get him here. Tell him to join. Drop a couple super chats here, or join Sarcasm City.
Yeah, you know what I want to get on here? I want to get Aguero on here because Aguero is on smoke at the moment. If you've seen him just cussing everyone out, it's great.
No, he's not, but it is. I'd leave that to you and let you interview Aguero on here by yourself.
I love Aguero, man. You love Aguero too. You got to.
Aguero's my guy. Aguero. Yeah, I couldn't give him his plaudits when he was there because you wearing the up colours, but like when he left, I'm like Aguero, one of the best strikers
in Premier League history. One of the only players that Man United him and David Silva. Man United fans actually like.
Yeah, because they're two of the greatest. I say this all the time. David Silva, I think, not only do I think he's the best Manchester, unpopular opinion, I think he's the best Manchester City player in Premier League history.
Who?
I also think David Silva. I also think he's. I also, maybe it's not unpopular then. I also think he's probably the most underrated.
Oh my God, 100%.
Attacking midfielder in the Premier League history.
100%.
I can't think of anybody else. And Aguero, I think I put in that category in terms of strikers. Actually, I put him second only to Andy Cole. But I think they're criminally underrated for what they did and the level they was at and the level they was competing at. This is Premier League. This is just obviously I couldn't say this. I said this, people, but I couldn't say it with like them when because they were wearing the up colours and I was hating.
The thing is, it's very interesting because when people talk about midfielders and they talk about Yaya Toure, because Yaya Toure is unreal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people say we can't put Yaya Toure in these conversations because the other midfielders have been doing it for much longer, which is a fair point. But when it comes to Aguero, people don't really mention the fact that he was consistently performing at that level. And not only performing at that level, he was also winning stuff at the same time. You know what I mean? For that long, and Aguero used to get injured every season, and he'd be 2 goals behind the Golden Boot winner, and the Golden Boot will have played 10, 15 more games sometimes. So it's like, how are you that close? So a lot of people will look and say he only won 1 Golden Boot. Realistically, he should have won a lot more than 1. And also, it didn't help that like the likes of Pellegrini used to take him off when he was on a hat-trick and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'd score 2 and then he'd take him off. And Pep used to do that at the end as well. So he could have and should have got more goals than he did. But his scoring record is in goals per game. I think he's still at the top of that league. To be fair, though, Haaland is coming for him because Haaland's number at the moment is like 1 point something, and like all of Aguero and Henry and all them are at 0 point something. So, yeah, I think Haaland is going to come and take, because I know Aguero took a lot of Henry's records, and I think Haaland's going to come and take over Aguero. But yeah, we will see. Depends how long he stays as well.
Yeah, man, we are, because he needs to leave expeditiously in that, man. It's ridiculous his goal return. Man's got 31 goals and it's not even February across all competition. That is outrageous. 31 goals he's got across all comps, and we're not even in February, people, excluding champs, excluding playing in the FA Cup further and that, like Premier League games. It's outrageous. Dan Twist says, Flawless, I know you like Ivan Toney, but what about Victor Osimhen? I get this a lot. I say the same thing about Victor Osimhen. I've not watched him play like that to make an assessment. I do like the profile from what I've seen of him. I like the profile, pace and power, athletic. The injury record and does worry me. So that's my only concern with Victor Osimhen, and the price as well. I don't want to see United spend 90, 100 or north of that on any player not called Kylian Mbappe. We spending that money, it better be Kylian Mbappe.
The market at the moment has been blown out, way out of proportion, because every player now, if you look at Brighton, they're slapping 100 million on all their players. So usually you could go to a Brighton and get a player for 35 mil, and he's going to be a starter in your team that's going to like bang. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now you're getting their backup players for 35. Like you need to fork out 75, 80 million for anyone. You know, it's getting a bit ridiculous.
Yes,
to be honest.
That's where, and I bang on. I was talking about this earlier, actually, on the ManDem United earlier on, people. Just the ManDem United show, not the crossover. And I was saying about how Manchester United's recruitment team, scouting team, the people making the final decisions on who the scouts bring back need to do better. They're paid millions upon millions a year, and that recruitment team, the recruitment team is invested in millions upon millions a year. So they need to start producing, because people said, oh, United had scouted a Bellingham, we'd scouted a Caicedo, and people were saying no. Well, whoever said no on these players needs to be held accountable. There has to be accountability. The same way we hold players accountable for poor performances, the same way we'll hold a manager accountable for poor performances, the same way we'll hold the medical staff accountable if players are out for 2 weeks and we don't see them in 3 months. So I'm putting that on the recruitment stuff. So when people say the market's dead and all, no, the market's not dead. You're just not looking at it. I say this all the time.
I think City's recruitment at the moment is quite good.
Like a Julian Alvarez, for instance.
Yeah, they're everywhere, and they're looking at, we just bought a player who's Argentinian as well, but I don't know how he is, so I can't comment on him because I literally do not know anything about him. I hear that he's like a DM, which is a bit strange because we've obviously got Rodri and Calvin Phillips. Obviously, Calvin Phillips can't really stay fit, so we do probably need a backup. I would have loved to have kept Lavia. Lavia was my favourite academy player.
And you got a buyback clause on him now?
We have.
Okay.
But I think the only thing with Lavia is he's too good to sit on the bench and play 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. It's not fair on him. So as much as I would have loved to keep him, it's different with you. So say we were United now, Casemiro's early 30. So it's kind of like you see it as from a Lavia point of view. Okay, well, in 2 years time.
Hey, no spamming in the chat, people, or you will be blocked. Stop spamming people in the chat, or you will be blocked. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, so you would think, okay, Casemiro's getting on, but Rodri's still 25, 26, so it's a long time for him to be a regular starter. So I understand him leaving. It makes sense for him, but I think it would be nice to have Lavia on the bench to come off. If Rodri comes off, it would be nice. But yeah, so I don't know. City don't really do January transfer windows. We've got a few players like Dzeko, I think, came in January. Laporte came in January. We've got a few players every now and again, but yeah, we're more a summer team. So I wasn't expecting City to buy anyone in January, to be honest.
So yeah, that's go on.
No, I think if we don't win the league, they might regret it because everyone seems to have strengthened apart from us. So it's a bit like,
let's go, man. Downfall of Manchester City. Let's hope so. You know what I'm saying? That's what we
yeah, man. Downfall of your team, bro.
What do you mean downfall? I know, bruv, me. All right, first and foremost. Secondly, as well. We've not even had an upfall to have a downfall. When are we up? We ain't even up to have a downfall. We're like trying to get back. Like we're on the upwards trajectory. We can't have a downfall where we're not ending anything yet. See this? Absolute libbies. 6 good months, people. And people talking about United downfall. I'm like, where was the upfall? When was we up to have a downfall? You're trying to get to the top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like we're finally climbing into
my holiday.
Say again?
I think I've packed enough stuff for my holiday.
I presume so. Since you want to talk about on the show, what's missing?
Yeah. And you made me forget my slides.
How did I make you forget your slides?
Because I told you about my slides. And
I told you take the most comfortable ones and you just didn't listen.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
See, you're not even listening now. Fuck, But yeah, back to the point, Dan Twist. I know Ivan Toney's but even with Ivan Toney, I'm not looking to spend more than 70 M's on him. I don't think any player is worth 80, 90, or 100 M's. I don't. I'm not called Kylian Mbappe. Like, I think it's just lazy recruitment if you're just going to go sign a player for 90, 100, 110, 120 million. But that's just me. We are going to close out shortly, people. We are going to close out. I think we've answered all of the good questions. And yeah, Dan, I hear you, man, about Osimhen. Like, I don't doubt his goal return. That's a great goal return. I don't doubt his profile. Injuries concern me. But I've just not watched enough of him to say, yeah, go get Osimhen. But he's a name that consistently pops up.
Season, to be fair.
Yeah. He's a name that consistently pops up. But I'm not going to say, yeah, go get him or not go get him when I've not watched him play 5-6 matches in full.
Football fans at the moment is like that someone will say like, oh, this player's amazing. And then fans that don't watch them will then go, yeah, go get him.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's not necessarily going to be good at your team. Do you know what I mean? Because like, say, for example, City want a player, Chelsea want a player, Arsenal want a player, Man United want a player. We all play different styles of football. So,
yeah, absolutely.
He might be better for a certain team. Like a lot of people are saying, like Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. Yes. Like I would have liked Enzo Fernandez, to be honest, because I like him as a player. But it's just one of them things. Like then you get other teams that are like, we want Enzo Fernandez, and it's like it might not work for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with Bellingham. A lot of people are gonna compete with Bellingham. I don't see Liverpool just having a clear path to his signing. City have already said they're interested because Pep likes him, and Pep likes his English players. When he's a manager of a team in a country, he likes the people from that country to be in his team. So
yeah, that makes sense.
He's a big fan of Bellingham as well. I'm not saying City will get him because he's probably already signed for Liverpool, but they're going to be interested at least.
No, I fully hear that. Before we close out, let's bump up them likes. We're 6 short of 50 likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We did hit the subscriber milestone. We're now 6 short of 60 likes, so make sure you do that. And before we close out, predictions. Obviously, you lot play Arsenal at home today at the Etihad. What are you saying?
Don't be throwing in them slide digs, you little bitch. I heard
that. Predictions for the game. What are you saying? Scoreline. City win, Arsenal win. Yeah. Is it going to be a replay at the Emirates? What are we saying?
I think because we're at home, we should be winning.
Okay.
Well, I only see it being like a 2-1. I don't see it being loads and loads of goals.
So you got a Manchester City win, yeah?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. You going to the game as well, I'm taking it, yeah?
Arsenal. Not because of the FA Cup, because I don't think we'll win the FA Cup anyway.
Let's hope not.
We need to, for mentality wise, we need to get past Arsenal.
Okay.
That being said, if I had to choose between the league and the FA Cup, then I'd pick the league all day long.
Of course, you're picking the league. Everybody's picking the league over the FA Cup. I'm saying.
No, I mean beat them in the league.
It's a great choice to have. Yeah, and even beating them in the league, of course. As for the Manchester United Reading game, yeah, Manchester United will win. Like, I'd like to see Ten Hag make wholesale changes. I would, because we got a lot of games coming up in February. You can rest players for the Reading game. You can rest players for the Forest game on Wednesday. And then it's into, you know what I'm saying, Palace, Europa League's back to back against Leeds as well.
Palace.
There's a lot of games coming up. Yeah, we got Palace at home.
Yeah.
We got Palace at home. Then we play Leeds February the 8th. And then we play them February the 12th as well. So we back to back. A lot. Of course, you hope we lose. You know what I'm saying? You're a hater. It makes no sense.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying, but hopefully, United get past Reading, get into the FA Cup 5th round. I don't care who goes out with Arsenal or City. I just want one of them to go out, which is brilliant. We're already in the final of the Carabao Cup. That's also next month as well. Hopefully, Southampton do the business against Newcastle, but it's going to be Newcastle. And yeah, man, as a United fan, what's he got?
Final, actually, Newcastle United.
Well, it'll be a decent final still. As long as we win, great.
It's like, oh shit, sorry. That's the first. Sorry, I dropped my thing off the morning.
Go on.
That's the first test, because like that's what happened to us in 2010. Like, we went into that semi-final against Man United just for a day out. Like, we did not think we were going to win.
Yeah.
And then obviously we did. So then we had the final against Stoke, and it was all about, can City get over the line? And we did. So it'll be interesting to see how Newcastle approach it, because it's not like it's not just a final against Man United and they're the underdog like it would normally be. It's literally like, is this going to be the start of their trophy winning, what's it called?
Hall.
The beginning of the. Oh my god! I found
they're winning Hall. Shameless.
Yeah. Because that's what was. We won that, and then we won the league, and then we didn't really start. It's great, isn't it? Just what you wanted to see.
No, it's just what you wanted to see. I don't. But yeah,
local team win trophies, don't they?
Nah, I didn't. My local teams. Before you lot, was it Altrincham or Hyde? That's probably Hyde. Hyde is probably closer to me before you lot.
Man City are from West Gorton, so technically it's right.
It is. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so no, I wish you lot nothing but the worst.
To be right near your house.
Is it? Well, wish you nothing but the worst, including the City ladies as well. You know what I'm saying City under 23s, under 18s, under 16s, 15s, 14s, 13s, 12s, 11s. 10s, the under 8s, the under 5s, the under 4s. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything. Yes. Wish you nothing but the worst.
Poor kids.
Yes. Hey, once you put on that City shirt and wear that badge, you the ops. You know what I'm saying? I wish you nothing but the worst on that football field. Well, yeah, love to everybody who has locked in. We're back today. ManDem United podcast, people. So I'll be talking all things Manchester United. That'll be 4:30 p.m. here on the YouTube channel. Then we'll be switching over to the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Make sure you get over to the Twitch. Switching over to the Twitch for the Manchester City versus Arsenal live watch along, that FA Cup game there from the Etihad. We will be watching people, and then the Q&A. Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, where we answer all your sporting questions, people. So it's not Manchester United related, it's not Manchester City related. You lot in the chat run the show. That'll be 11:30 p.m. So that is today, Friday, people, to start your weekend. And then Saturday, we start on the Twitch. Preston versus Tottenham. That'll be live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Then we'll be switching back over here to the YouTube for the Manchester United Reading FA Cup watch along. Then after that, at 11 p.m., you will get the ManDem United meets the Ballers at the Bridge, meets Talking at Tottenham talk show. So that'll be the Manchester United, Chelsea and Spurs show, with myself representing Manchester United, of course. You'll have Peter and Surfer representing Chelsea, and then you will have Jez and Eleanor representing Spurs. That'll be 11 p.m. And then Sunday, you will have back on the Twitch. We start again. Brighton versus Liverpool. So we'll be hoping that Liverpool get beat on the seaside again. And then to end the weekend, as always, the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. That'll be midnight. All of the shows I just mentioned, people, are on the upcoming live stream schedule here on the YouTube and on the Twitch as well. I've already updated for next week. So not only do you know all the shows that are coming, you know all of the shows that are coming up all the way till next week Sunday, people. Not this Sunday. No. Next week Sunday, all of the shows, all your ManDem Uniteds, all the crossover shows, doing the most, Q&As, all the Premier League watch-alongs, Carabao Cup watch-alongs, NBA watch-alongs, the whole 9, people. So make sure you check it out. Jan, anything you want to add before we close out? She even there. Say again. What did you say? Yeah, I think Jan just malfunctioned. Hey, yo, Jan. Okay, yo, you're breaking up. Nah, you're still breaking up.
Sorry, love.
Yeah, it's cool. We didn't want to hear from you anyway. It's calm. Anything you want to add? Hopefully she can hear me in that. Yeah, hold that, man. You know what I'm saying? Going on about the empty ad. You and your empty ground. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, love to everyone who has locked in. That's all Jan had to say. She probably would have just said, yeah, big up the chat, blah, blah, blah. Certain snidey about United. But love to everyone that's locked in. This show is fortnightly, people. This show is fortnightly. GyalDem City meets ManDem United, the Manchester City, Manchester United show. So me and Jan here every other Thursday, people. And what will be back next week, I'm going to talk to Cam, and that's fortnightly. Will be the Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast meets the ManDem United podcast, which is the Arsenal Manchester United show. So for those that may be new here or don't know, we do have the big 6 covered in terms of the ManDem United. You get obviously every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, but all the crossover shows. So you get GyalDem City meets ManDem United. You got Gonna Talk from the Arsenal that meets ManDem United. ManDem United meets Analysis at Anfield, and then of course ManDem United Ballers at the Bridge talking at Tottenham Talk. But yeah, love to everybody who has locked in, man. Big up to everyone, man. Please, love continues to support. We hit the subscriber mark as well, so big up to you lot. We are 50 short now. We are 50 short, and I hope to see all of you lot at 4:30 p.m. UK time, people. That's 4:30 p.m. Go hit the like button on that video already. And we're now we're 49 away now. 49 away from 5K. So we're trying to get there before this month is out. But love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the GyalDem City podcast meets the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.